Hey there, welcome back to our SQL tutorial series. Today we're going to be looking over SQL syntax. Just as a reminder, this is a tutorial series, so if anything that I'm saying in this video doesn't make sense to you, consider going back and watching the previous video in this series. Another thing, if you would like to follow along with me, the link to this website is in the description below. This is W3 Schools. I do not claim any rights to any of this content. I'm simply here to walk you through it. Now, with that all out of the way, let's get into the tutorial. So, SQL statements. Most of the actions you need to perform on the database are done with SQL statements. SQL statements consist of keywords that are easy to understand. We're going to look at an example from a customers table so we can see how SQL statements work. So, as you can see, this highlighted section right here is a SQL statement. This is what you would write to retrieve the data. This particular statement is a statement to retrieve all of the data. So when we run the SQL statement, we will get all of our data from the table. So let's run it. So as you can see, we get all 91 of our records from this table. So this is just one example. We're going to get into more complex examples of what SQL statements can do down in later tutorials. But as for now, this will be our example of what a SQL statement is and what a SQL statement does. So as we kind of went over in our last tutorial, a database most often contains one or more tables. Each table is identified by a name. So in the case of this table that we just got finished running the SQL statement to, the name of it is the customers table, the one where we had 91 records of data. Another thing to keep in mind is that SQL keywords are not case sensitive. So an all lowercase select is the same as an all uppercase select. For the purposes of this tutorial, we will write all of our SQL keywords in uppercase. So semicolons. The semicolon, you see this thing that goes after the statement? Some database systems require a semicolon at the end of each SQL statement. A semicolon is just a standard way to separate each SQL statement in database systems that allow more than one SQL statement to be executed in the same call to the server. In this tutorial, we will use semicolon at the end of each SQL statement. Here's a list of the most important SQL commands. So we have select. The select keyword extracts data from a database. The update keyword updates data in a database. The delete keyword, as you probably guessed, deletes data from a database. Insert into keyword inserts data into a database. Create database creates a new database. Alter database modifies a database. Create table creates a new table. Alter table modifies a table. Drop table deletes a table. Create index creates an index or search key. Drop index deletes an index. So the main thing to remember from this tutorial is that SQL users write SQL statements such as this one to retrieve the data they desire from their database. SQL keywords such as select and from, they're not case sensitive. So if we were to write them in lowercase, we will get the same data as you can see. But as we said before, for the purposes of this tutorial, we will write all of our SQL keywords in all uppercase. Finally, semicolon is just what we write at the end of each SQL statement to mark its end. So that's the end of this tutorial, and I hope to see you in the next one.